Good afternoon, everyone. How you all doing today? I got kind of a lot to talk about, so I'm just gonna get started with this. Excuse my hair. I was cleaning my house. How many of you applied this week with the conservation department, or last week, whenever they did that? And how many of you were interviewed, and by whom? I'm not sure what conservation qualifications are, but I'm sure they're listed somewhere. And the individuals that I have spoken with were asked questions as if they were going to be working with the BIA. No questions regarding our forest, our animals, our nothing, our rangeland, nothing to do with our conservation, but with BIA. And I don't know why they would have those kinds of questions when they don't have that type of authority. We're not even sure if the conservation department or the individuals working there have been commissioned or certified or qualified to be there. I was told that our conservation department does not want to have any female conservation officers. And that doesn't surprise me coming from that person. Females really intimidate and threaten him. So I can see that. I can see how that would be something that he's really trying to stick to. But just because he's sticking to it doesn't mean it's right. Who did get the position? Because this director we have is also the director for the fish hatchery, our emergency management, I believe. And I think there's another one, maybe our parks and recs. Who knows how many titles this person has. So if our fish hatchery director is just going to move over his staff, why bother with all of the other people? Why have them apply and go through that process if there was never an intention of even considering them? Why would you do that? These are really important things that our current council should be looking into. This hiring process they have, especially for the director to be sitting there just moving employees from one department to another. If that's how it's going to be, then why post it? The questions that were asked of some of the people that actually went to these interviews for nothing were not related to conservation. They were related to BIA law enforcement. That's something that needs to be looked into. One of our current sitting candidates, council members, talks about nepotism and putting a stop to it. And here's one of your biggest forms right here. We'll talk about some more nepotism. Who is the superintendent of our school? And did he hire his daughter-in-law to be the supervisor of our kitchen? Now that's fine if she was qualified and if they did the whole process and it was fair. But who checks on that? Because I know that kitchen is full of tribal members that are fully capable and able to run that kitchen for our children. It is Mescalero Apache. Mescalero Apache School. Just something to think about there. Who is this superintendent at our school? And who did they put in that kitchen? Were there other people that were considered, that apply, that anything? We really need to look into this school, because I feel like it's starting to run the same as our other departments. I drive by quite a bit, and I don't think I've ever seen the outside of the school look that grassy. I don't know. It just does not look the same. Are we lacking on our custodians? Do we have enough custodians in that school? Because right now is not the time to be lacking in our custodial area, in our maintenance. Right now is not the time to be lacking. This is when we need to boost everything. We need to be doing double to keep our children safe, our staff, our family from COVID. I'm not sure why we would be lacking in that department. So maybe we do need to go look into that, because we got reports of custodians sleeping. Non-tribal at that. Non-tribal custodians getting paid top dollar to just sleep. I'm sure we have other tribal employees there, custodians, kitchen staff, that would love to apply, or probably have, and that are probably qualified. We really need to look into this. In Mr. Mendez's letter, one of his letters from a while back, about a month ago maybe, he talks about this. Employment and being fair. We need to get into that school and see if everybody is being fair, just like all the other entities that we have. It's just, we just can't be overlooking this. This is our school. This is our children, our future. We need to stop putting all these other unqualified people ahead of our own people that are qualified. Do you get that? Like, I'm not just sitting here saying, oh, this person. No. We need to look at our people that are qualified, that are there every day, that are staying late, volunteer. I'll do it. I'll stay. You have an event for the kids, I'll do it. Let's look at this. Let's look at this and see who's really there for our kids, or who's really there to collect money. Because to me, I feel like we have a lot of tribal members that are qualified to do these positions, and they're being overlooked by not only their family, just placing them there, but none of them are even tribal. How does that work? That's just not right. So we need to look into this Elisa Gutierrez and see who's under her. Who's tribal that's under her and qualified? You got to start looking at this, because our council's not. Our leaders are not. Our leaders are not looking into this. Is it being fair? Are they fair? Are they doing things fair? Here's some more. Let's get into some more hiring done fairly. We have a... How many of you applied for valet supervisor? I have a person who went to apply, and when she went to check on her application, she was told there was only one applicant. Where did her application go? Again, nepotism. Let's see, where are those words? Where are those words? Stopping nepotism. stopping nepotism. And then above that, pay increases. I have asked for pay increases for our tribal members. This too did not pass. But I will continue to strive for permanent minimum wage hourly rate closer to $15. Imagine that, you all getting the pay that you almost deserve. I mean, these directors are making insane pay and you all aren't. But you got your own people sitting here, and there's just so much nepotism just in your face everywhere. Everywhere you go, there is so much nepotism. But if you're going to post a position and interview all these people, don't waste their time if you already had somebody picked. And if you're going to post a position just to say you posted it and you only had one applicant, remember there's other applicants that have their copies, that did turn in an application, that should have gotten a fair chance. That's too many people in one department that are related. This lady went and asked the lady who got the position and told her that, yeah, she applied and that they gave her the wrong envelope, or who knows. So she goes to HR. And who's sitting in HR? Miss Henrietta. And who is above Henrietta? Who is in charge of this position? Elgin. Well, Elgin closed it. He's closing it, and they've already made their selection. How is that fair? Do you see the relation there? Maybe this person is qualified to be the supervisor, but other people applied. You should have allowed them that same opportunity, regardless if your family was qualified or not. We should be equal. We should be equal, allowed the same opportunity. We need to get out of this mindset of being, oh, I'm going to take for me and my family. No, we are all family. Whether you all like me or not, we are all family. Our goal for our leaders should be the same. Our leaders' goal for us should be the same. We should all have our intentions for everybody, not just our family. There should be no secrecy. This is just too much. We're just letting this literally nepotism build our tribe. We got to put a stop to that, and we got to start being fair and equal to everybody. To everybody. This is just the job section here. We got this conservation doing these ridiculous interviews when they already had their selection. They just transferred one employee to another. And if I'm wrong, then let us know who was selected and how you went about your process, because you wasted a lot of people's time. I hear a lot about, we're going to stop this nepotism and work on fair. What about all this inappropriate behavior from these men, using their sex as power? So intimidated by women. He won't even hire one. Qualified or not. He did not care. Those weren't any of his questions. Explains why he's running around abusing power. We got the superintendent of our schools, our children, non-tribal, already over here pulling nepotism as well, putting his daughter-in-law in charge of the kitchen. fine, but were there any of our tribal members that applied? Because I know of two, at least two that did. Were they considered? Probably not. The nepotism at the inn, it's strong. It's in every department. You can see it in every department. It has to stop. I really hope that you candidates, that you running people are going into office. I really hope that this is your focus to help our tribe get back to the way it should be. Equal and fair for everybody, not just certain people. No more allowing all these felonies to be ignored, because it shows in our departments now how we're running them. We have an inn with maintenance. Our inn has a fully staffed maintenance, or am I wrong? Maybe we're lacking in maintenance at the inn too, because it shows we're lacking in maintenance at the inn. We're hiring contractors to do our plumbing. We're hiring contractors to repair walls. Why, if we have maintenance, why are we hiring all these contractors? And if maintenance is short-staffed, why don't you get them help? You got all these people that have all this experience. I'm sure people apply and are just overlooked. You all laid people off and didn't call them back. You laid people off and didn't call them back. I talked last time about Alan and Amber and just maybe looking into these departments and moving people around and maybe getting rid of Alan and putting Amber in there. Oh, people did not like that. All these suggestions I had were not liked at all. Again, we have people in our current council assigned to these departments to, watch these things. That's their job. But we have people like Miss Luna, who's over here working under Mr. Kurgan. I was told that during the Blues and BBQ event this past September, there was so much alcohol left that they just loaded it up in Mr. Kurgan's tailgate, his trunk of his truck. And then I thought, man, where did all of that alcohol go? Did any of you attend any parties at the inn, in any of the rooms? Maybe our top head officials partying it up in our rooms? Just a thought. Just a thought. There's cameras everywhere. I don't understand how Mr. Kurgan would be able to just load up all the alcohol left from this event and go party it up wherever. We have cameras everywhere. But I guess if we're short-staffed everywhere, including security, we're probably short-staffed in surveillance, or maybe they're sleeping, because too much is just going unnoticed or unmentioned. There's talk of pain pills being passed out to employees whenever they need it, whenever they want it. Not prescribed to them, not prescribed to them by a doctor, not given to them by a doctor, by a supervisor. A non-tribal supervisor. These are things our council needs to look into, because we're paying these people top dollar. And half of these people we pay are not even tribal. We're just like overlooking all our tribal people. Don't look at them. Don't look that way. Let's see who we know, who we can bring in, who can do this to our people. I made a suggestion for, well, I didn't, I guess. Some of Frizzell's family has suggested that maybe we look into another person. We'll talk a little bit more about that one next time. But this just has to stop. We're just allowing all of these directors to just go and go and go. Take. How many of you feel that we should be paying these directors top dollar if they're not going to pull their weight? Aguilar talked about so much he wanted to do for his people. That's a waste of over $70 an hour. That's like grounds for termination. Failure at everything. Did not complete assignment. These weren't our assignments. These were his own words, his own assignments he gave himself. He promised his people. I cannot in any way believe he even attempted to do any of these things. I truly believe that once this person got in there, and half of these people in there now got in there, and man, their eyes lit up with that green. And we lost them. The same with our general counsel. Man, we waste a lot of money. I find it really hard to believe that our general counsel would only be at $40 an hour. But I guess if you're allowing so much corruption to happen, why would we pay you more? But then to find out that Mr. Gallarito's at almost $50 an hour. General counsel, I'm sure you would agree that something ain't right there. The list goes on for these top dollar pays every hour to these people. I sure would like to see if they're earning it, what they're doing to earn that top dollar. Because none of the sitting council will talk with their people, will update their people. Not even before my Prove Me Wrong. That is why we started the Prove Me Wrong. Because everyone was ignored. Ignored. How are you just going to sit there and ignore your people and then turn around and have the nerve to ask for their votes? Let's go back. We talked about Ski Apache. Rumors of Ski Apache being sold. We had one individual, an employee of Ski Apache, Miss Tanya Tashe. She is our only communication from them. She posts that, yes, I spoke with the manager up there. He insists that they are not in talks for that. Why would that man know? I mean, I appreciate her helping, and I truly hope that he is not lying to her. But she asks for our leaders, our directors to come and speak with their employees. Let's see if they do that. These employees at the ski area work really hard. Really hard. They wake up super early, and they spend their whole day up there. Their entire day. 5 a.m. to probably 7 p.m., sometimes later. You don't get paid for your drive up there or your drive back. You do not get paid for that time. You live on the reservation, you live on the other side of the reservation, you live in truly wherever, you do not get paid for going all the way up to that mountain and helping our entity run smoothly. Our directors get paid. Our directors are paid top dollar to do all kinds of things. But the people working the hardest, putting in the most work, doing overtime, without hesitation, some of them are just getting overlooked, getting no compensation for all this work they do. Miss Tasha, and I'm sure there are other Ski Apache employees that would love to hear from their bosses, from our leaders, to talk to them, ensure them, let them know you got a job security. But why would they communicate with them if they won't communicate with us? Let's see. So at the end, they're hiring these contractors, I'm told. It's the latest rumor that we had a contractor come in for plumbing and for the walls. This week I had really crazy luck. Just a lot of car things. And then I had issues with the law enforcement down there. I had to deal with them. Not for myself, but I'm really tired of the way our law enforcement works around here. You can sit there and hear on that scanner all the time, so-and-so is going to come get the vehicle, so-and-so has a friend who's going to take it, yada yada. These officers like to work on their own policies and procedures, put them in place when they feel it's convenient. We had Mr. Alfred La Paz's grandson, October 2nd, slam right into a concrete wall. I believe the damages were over $8,000 in repairs. I could be wrong. I mean, we're still waiting for some type of update for any of these things we asked. So it's really good that Mr. La Paz is not in these candidates running. However, Miss Simmons is, but we'll work on that. Mr. La Paz's grandson did not go to jail. So intoxicated, he could barely stand, and they allowed somebody to come get him after he slammed into that wall in his vehicle, and come get his vehicle. How many of you have gotten pulled over and just thrown in instantly without being able to take your vehicle, have a family come get it, anything, without nothing? That's how it should be. Because it's the law. But when you go around applying the law when you want to, that's when it becomes an issue. So we need to look into these officers that do that. And we will. Because that's enough. We just have too many officers doing exactly what our leaders are doing. Favoritism, nepotism, whatever you want to call it. But it's there and it shows. Officer Decker is not even from here, but the favoritism shows. It shows. There's other officers. We had a new officer that night. No idea what he was doing or saying. Remember, when you talk to these officers, they have cameras. You ask them if they're recording, because they should be. They should be. You all understand you have rights with these officers. You have rights. There was a child involved, a female. There was no female officer. There was no victims advocate. There was no social service. Nothing there for the child. There's just too much people just getting away with whatever they want. I mean, literally, we have people that have DUIs, current DUIs, running for council. And if they're not current, then just let us know. I have had such an issue with my mail, only to find out that it's been tampered with. It's just too much corruption here. Our leaders in here, you know, we have a housing issue. We have homeless people all over. But we have this uneducated, unqualified COO. I mean, I'm not even sure why he's the COO. We don't even own our inn. Please look into our departments. Council, you incoming council that will be voted in, all of you, please look into these departments. We're paying this COO who is not qualified in any way to run any of our entities. I mean any. It doesn't matter which one, how big or small. He is not qualified to run any. It states in his resume, and it's just clear. It's clear. But the nerve of this person to collect all this money from us, all these years, not doing nothing but growing himself. And then you have my people homeless and starving and freezing. And you're over here selling your $407,000  5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home. You all go check it out. 141 Meadow Drive, Ruidoso. Owners, Mr. and Mrs. Frizzell Jr., go check out the nice home that our tribe has purchased for this unqualified, uneducated COO. Keeping my people from working, denying my people gaming license. The nerve of you. How dare you deny our people? Did you hear that, Frizzell? Our people. Their gaming license, but you're gonna go take our money continuously. All these years doing nothing for your people. Absolutely nothing. But paying Warner, paying yourself, oh my goodness, and your father is in another new vehicle. He upgraded, he got a vehicle that fits him. It's not small, this actually fits his body. Have you all bought a goldfish ever? You keep it in that little glass jar, it'll stay that small. You put it in a tank, it'll grow the size of the tank. In another tank, and it'll grow that size as well. Stop feeding this gold-digging goldfish. Why do we continue to provide him with a ride, a vehicle? What is his job? What is his title? If he has that vehicle, what is he doing? Work-related with it. Work-related. Man, you council are just really, don't look that way. Don't look that way. Don't look that, just act like it's nothing. That's all got to stop. We're just catering to the Frizzels. Give them another home. Man, we've really set them up. That's just crazy. Too crazy. Mr. Little. Is Mr. Little still in charge of whatever department roads? I'm sure he is. I'm sure they won't let go of their little friend. Why, a while back I asked, why isn't Little working at the forestry anymore? You can't if you have a restraining order against you and the employee works there. Why would Mr. Montoya put a restraining order on Mr. Little? Can't handle your alcohol while on training? Both of you? These are all things that need to be looked at. When you go to a training, you're not there to party. You're there to learn, to bring back all that knowledge to your tribe. To bring back all that knowledge to your tribe. I used to tell Gabe and all of them, child support goes to all of these conferences and brings back nothing. Nothing. You have no idea how many hours I wasted on airplanes sitting in these conferences. Because everything you learn in there, you bring it back to your directors and they deny it. And then you think, well, at least I went and learned something. I'll get, that I can put that down on my resume. No, you don't get nothing for these conferences. It's just that. It's just a conference. It's not a training. You don't get no certificates. You're just sitting in there. We're just sending all of these directors all over to just go sightseeing. Party it up, because I'm sure that's all that happened in Vegas last week. I'm still waiting to see the outcome of that. I'm not even sure why our council would even have to go. Why wouldn't our COO, with all his knowledge, be able to go without you? We just have all these people working there with all this cocaine possession in their background. Like I said, we really need to start drug testing these directors. Random. Just throw it out there. Give them a random drug test and honestly see who passes and who fails. But you got to deal with them fairly. You can't just say, oh, don't say nothing about that one, but this one, suspend them, terminate them, whatever. No, it has to be fair. You all will be surprised how many of these directors we need to look into. We have Mr. John Lathan out there, out on a restraining, or what is that? Release order? Bond order? How much more does he need to do, to let him go? The situation I dealt with the other day, it was a DUI situation. I told her, now you can go be a director. Shoot, don't be all bummed out. Now you can go and fill out an application. You don't even have to go fill out. Just go talk to them and they'll put you as a director with your DUI. That's how it works. You got natives, tribal members that are really trying, that go to school, that don't have these type of behaviors. And they're overlooked for felons. Literally felons. You have directors just trashing not only our tribal code, but their own policies. Completely trashing their own policies. And then they have the nerve to stand there and tell their employees not to do what they just did. Something's not right here, you all. It's a good thing that Aguilar's leaving. It was such a good sight to see that ballot with his name nowhere on it. Such a good sight. Greatest sight in a while. But then you go down and you see Dorland. Ooh. Fernando, Eddie, Anthony, Marilee, you're all currently on there. And we're still waiting to hear what your intentions are for your people. I read Anthony's letter about involving his people, getting his people's input, opening the meetings, whether it's, he did put, I think, online. If you're going to state things, you should probably start doing them now. You have a way right here to reach your people. That letter that you posted or your family didn't reach hardly anybody. You need to get your words out there. That's Anthony Mendez's words that I read. One of his letters that he had put out before this past election. He talks about transparency. I would like for these meetings to be broadcasted. I believe tribal members should have the information on every aspect of our tribal government. This is his letter before the primaries, but it's a good letter. Read it. I could be wrong. This could be his letter now, but it is a good letter. Go talk to him. Because, he's currently sitting in there, and some of these words are words he said before, and we have not seen these things. But there's reasons for everything, and I'm sure he's willing to talk. But you're talking right here, Mr. Mendez, about being transparent and broadcasting. Use this. I don't understand why you turned your Facebook off. I would have said, nope, I'm going to campaign. I'm going to get my words out there. I'm going to tell my people what my intentions are for them. All these people on Facebook, you would think they would do that. Aguilar sitting there in that office currently, you would think he would set up something so his people can be informed of his candidates and what they're going to do. But then the spotlight wouldn't be on him. It wouldn't be so beautiful. I went down to our tribal center yesterday. Hours. This man just put on an extravagant, beautiful ceremony for himself. But that memorial is literally... You couldn't even put any kind of weathering on it to keep that wood from... You got to do something. That's so disrespectful. It's just plain disrespectful. Your priorities are all backwards. You current ones sitting in there, you need to turn them around. You got new people coming in. This isn't going to go away. All these questions will not go away. They will continue, and they will only get stronger and stronger. I just can't understand why you would not want to talk with your people and inform them. Why you would hide so much or fight so hard to hide everything. Those are my thoughts. I mean, you just look at all this nepotism, all these allegations, serious allegations, serious. This is a lot of money. This is a lot of inappropriate behavior, and we're just ignoring it. And look at what it's doing. It's only growing. It's only getting bigger and bigger. I have another individual to speak about, but I'm going to wait until maybe tomorrow or the next day, because I said maybe she should be in charge of our inn, and we can get rid of Mr. Kurgan. We don't need him there anymore. His nasty habits, he can take them somewhere else. But when I said that, I got a lot a lot of upset people texting me. What the heck are you thinking? And oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot. So council, you need to start doing your job and looking into these departments that you oversee and start going to look at these. Pull those cameras and start looking into all of this. Is Mr. Kurgan whining and dining you, your friends, or your family? Is this why we're just allowing all of this to go unnoticed? I just think it's crazy. All of this, it just goes unnoticed, that all of these people can take and take and take, and you all are just going to have a blind eye to them. Not only a blind eye, but continue to cater to them. Mr. Mendes also talked about a Goodwill store, or no, I'm sorry, a program to help with people in need. That's a good one. That would be good and great. He says it's still on the table and he's trying to work on that. Let's get a Goodwill. Well, you got the space. You got people that would love it. Put a little Salvation Army, whatever, right there, right there in the boulevard. Just things. I mean, you candidates running. Robert and Jacob, Idella and Owen, you're all new people running, new to this. Let's hear your intentions, what you want to do for your people. Mr. Mendes has some good ideas. Mr. Martinez, what are your intentions for your people? You know, I seen Mr. Martinez and I thought I could go ask him, but by the looks of his face when he seen me, I already knew he wouldn't speak with me about his intentions for running for presidency. But I'm sure others he'll be willing to talk to. Right now, a lot of them see me as a threat because I ask these questions. But any of you can ask these. Just ask them. You got Anthony and Eddie. Anthony put out a little letter. I'm still waiting to see Eddie's letter. Gina's, Marilee, all the council. Marilee does her little posts, her prayers and all of that, you know, and that's great. But we need to know what you're doing currently for us. This is it's just too much. We have allegations of Marilee leaving children. We have allegations of Eddie overcharging or even being involved with charging the school. Gina, I really don't know too much about Gina, so let us know. Let us know. There's nothing wrong with talking to your people. You're campaigning. You should be campaigning. Darlene and Fernando, let us hear your intentions. Darlene, you're finally running and trying to get in by a vote. Let's hear how you're going to help your people. Not just your family, but your people. You all ask these people this. I'll be back tomorrow or the next day. I have a lot to bring up on the end again. But start talking to your people, you candidates running. Use this platform, this Facebook thing, however, YouTube, something, find some way to get your intentions out to your people, because you know we need to know you're asking for our vote to run our reservation correctly, the right way, fairly. Y'all have a good day. Stay Mescalero Apache strong. Make sure you tag, share, whatever you want with all these people so they can see it.